In life, you take care of what's important. Correct?
Absolutely.
So what's more important? Some psychopathic moron, Trevor, or your family? Right? If it comes down to it, what are you going to do? You're going to take care of your family. It was about wiping him out. Yeah, you're going to get rid of the f***ing guy because he's a danger to you and your family because he's a loose cannon.
Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a great interview. Michael from Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 6. He is here's Ned Luke. He is actually, I think he's pretty close to me now. It says Illinois, but are you in Jacksonville, Ned?
No, not even close.
914.
But that was a good guess. That's a good guess. And I'm not. We don't. GTA 6 is unknown things right now. So just to make that clear.
Didn't say a word. Didn't say a word.
Yeah. I mean, you had a senior moment. What are you gonna do?
You get a lot of them too.
Yeah. That's for sure. No, I'm in Atlanta, dude.
I was in Atlanta for a while, the penitentiary.
Yeah.
But right next to the
right.
zoo. But
Yeah.
I was there for a while. Matter of fact, I'm one of the notable inmates. If you look on the Atlanta Penitentiary website.
Well, it's good. It's right there by the zoo too, because they don't have far to release you. Then it's like,
isn't that the truth? That was a wild place.
Oh man.
But Ned, this is about you. This interview is going to be about what you've done. I mean, I looked through your career. I looked through. Listen, first of all, you really have a pretty stellar career. You got over 100 commercials, 29. It says 29 credits on TV shows. Some of the TV
probably a
shows
few
like
more than
Smile.
that, but who's counting?
But is GTA your biggest?
Oh yeah, without question. I mean, it's everybody's biggest. It's the biggest single piece of entertainment in history, so it's got to be everybody's biggest, right?
I often wondered. I watched the game and I learned from Lester. I call him Lester, and I could call him Jay Clyde, but Lester people know by Lester and Franklin.
Right.
About that. What do they call MOCOM?
Mocap, motion capture. Yeah.
Motion capture. Gotcha. Now, in motion capture, it's got to be pretty taxing on you, honestly. I mean, if you have to do all the stuff that I see
it's like shooting a movie or a television show or whatever. It's just different because you got balls all over you. You're covered in balls, and as a man, that's not necessarily a good thing. But you got balls here, you got balls here. If you get up against somebody, you got balls in your face, and that's never.
Well, now you get me excited. So
yeah, I know. You got to be careful with that shit because you never know what's gonna happen. Let's put it that way. But it's basically just like real acting. I mean, other than you have to use a lot more imagination because you don't have a set. There's no set where you're. Like for me, Michael, I have a big mansion, right? We didn't have a big mansion. We're in a studio, like in a warehouse, basically thing. And, there's cameras surrounding everything. Cameras all along the ceiling, cameras all along the floor. And then you're wearing these motion capture suits with the they call them markers. We call them balls. But they're these reflective balls that are all over your body, right? And so that when you move, it captures your motion. So if you and I were standing together right here in mocap suits, we'd be doing a scene. We'd be doing an acting scene, and it just catches all your movement, all your motion, and everything. And then you wear this helmet that's got a face mask, right, with a light and a camera right here in front of your face like this, So that captures your face, so that they can animate, your movement and everything with your face. So it's kind of awkward. It's kind of weird, but once you get used to it. It's just acting.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you that. I mean, I did some acting myself on a couple of shows and all that, and you've done a lot of that. Do you find it harder to do the mocap than a regular with somebody in front of you on a set kind of deal?
No, not really. In fact, it was actually in a way it was easier because. You don't have to worry about hair and makeup and, this thing and that thing. You know what you do? It's organic. It's like it's almost like being in a guerrilla acting class, like the old guerrilla acting class days, like where you didn't have sets. You didn't have any of that stuff. You maybe had a couple flats where you would define what room you were in and you throw a couch in there and a chair, and that kind of stuff. And that's basically what it was, except that our couch and chair were made out of pipes and apple crates and, stuff
They
like
were just probably placers, right? So you'd know where to walk.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that,
So you know
right?
where to go
Yeah.
and where not to go. More importantly, where not to go, because you don't want to break that wall. Like all of a sudden you're you're walking along, and instead of being in the mansion, you're in the mansion's wall. And maybe you're just your is sticking out or something, or whatever. But yeah, it's very specific, which was more difficult because it's very specific. I mean, you have to be, you have to be on your mark. You know what I mean? And it's
I was just gonna say you got to take 3 steps left, right. You have to do pretty much like you're,
pretty much
can't
like
feel,
that.
You can't feel around you.
Yeah,
but
you still had freedom. Like we had a lot of freedom and a lot of freedom to create, a lot of freedom to move. We could, so we could get our moves in, our gestures, and whatever it was that we were doing. I mean it was interesting. I recommend it for anybody who's an actor. I recommend motion capture, video game. Do some fucking thing, because it was a blast, man. It was 3.5 years of just freaking fun.
Wow, was it that long? I have a couple of good questions now. You can't say much about GTA 6, correct? Is that how?
I can't say anything about GTA 6.
Can't say you're even in it.
No.
I love it. I love this fucking guy. Where did I drink with you?
Who knows? Who knows if I even am in it or not?
Right.
I mean, historically, I would say you would say no, because they never reused the protagonist. But I still have the NDA that I'm under. So even if I knew anything, I couldn't say anything.
I understand. Believe me,
I'd have
I've
to
been
kill
on
you.
NDAs. And I'm probably more scared of NDAs than I am of FBI. But they hold you to them. Those lawyers have nothing to do but to mess with people.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go back to GTA 5 then. You can talk about that. You can do anything about that. How close?
Which by the way is going to be around for a while. The first trailer comes out tomorrow for GTA 6. So it's not like that game's getting released next week.
No, we know that. Obviously, we follow it. It's funny, Ned. I only started playing GTA. Obviously, I got out of the joint. I didn't know anything about a game. Never played a game at our age, and stuff like that.
Right.
So I ended up learning how to drive.
Right.
And that was pretty cool. Then somebody, I was with this big GTA guy named Kevin. Really nice guy. It's called Expert Thief.
Okay.
And we become friends. I'm a mentor of his. He's a younger guy, about 20. He started YouTube way back in the day.
Right.
He's got like 5-6 million subscribers. He's a great friend. We talk all the time. So I asked him, I says, teach me how to. He goes, come on, I'm taking you to a mod. I'm standing there, and all of a sudden this money comes flying down on me and all of this crazy stuff. And he goes, nah, you can't do that, lad. If you go into a game, they're going to know you're there. You can't do that. But it was fun, and he got me to drive. Then he got a whole crew around me. I'm telling you, I got into this, Ned. I said, no wonder people go hours and hours and hours on that stuff.
Dude, it's nuts. It's nuts, man. I'm doing a 10th, because it's our 10th anniversary. I'm doing our 10th anniversary playthrough right now on YouTube. Live. I'm live streaming that, not this minute.
Wow, we got to let the people know. So please,
go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, man. I've been doing it for about 3 weeks.
And we're going to check it out in the link too.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 3 weeks. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, but we're climbing. But so I'm actually playing the game. And
is this the first time you're doing that?
Oh, live streaming? Yeah.
I don't mean just live streaming, playing the game.
Oh no, I played the game. I played the game a bunch. I played it on every console, and I played it on that's been on. I played it on the computer, but
that's not fair, Ned. You know what's going to happen. You know what to do. I mean,
But here's the thing, though. I don't because I haven't played it in a while, and it's crazy because I forget. I forget like what button do I hit for this? What button do I hit for that? Like
Senior moment.
If you go up on my YouTube, you'll see there's like this one girl, Debbie. She did a little video, like a 2-minute video of my stream yesterday, of like the highlights, or the gaffes, and it's funny because a lot of things I can't remember, and I'm not a great gamer anyway, even though I've been gaming, dude, I was in high school when Pong came out, so You know.
I was too.
Yeah.
I mean, remember
So-
we had the Atari. The first thing was Atari.
Yeah, yeah.
And after Atari, then the Pong, and then we used to cut school in New York. You know, I'm from the Bronx and Brooklyn, and we cut school and just go to the head shop back in the day. We had no. We were talking about that earlier. We had no cable, no telephones,
no nothing.
We had 6
no
TV
answering
stations.
machines, no any of that
man,
stuff.
It was wild, man, and we had a lot of fun. You got into the bug, of what you did, what you do, and you're really good at it. It's funny. Here's a couple of things I had, a couple of questions I had that, especially, my story about going away for doing my crimes and standing strong. And I was actually off for 3 years and keep $6 million. And I didn't. I went to prison for 412s, beat a life sentence, got my law degree, all that. How do you feel playing like the rat? I don't mean the rat, because you're a cool guy. I didn't know.
Well, I always thought I was
so
the good
long.
guy.
Right. But what I meant, Ned, is, I didn't know it for a long time. I said, man, I like this guy. He's got his kid. He did the sailboat thing. The whole. I love those shits. And then I go, fuck, why does he got to be a rat? What the fuck did he do?
Well, he wasn't really a rat, though.
I know what you mean.
Everybody says he's a rat or he was a traitor, and all this kind of stuff. It depends on how you look at it. Here's how I look at it from Michael's perspective. Is you take care, right? In life, you take care of what's important. Correct?
Absolutely.
So what's more important? Some psychopathic moron, Trevor, or your family?
Yeah.
Right? If it comes down to it, what are you going to do? You're going to take care of your family. And it wasn't about ratting him out. It was about wiping him out.
Survival.
Yeah, you're going to get rid of the
what you're
fucking
saying.
guy because he's a danger to you and your family because he's a loose cannon. So in the game, I don't know if you remember in the very first opening, the prologue, it's Trevor's the guy who's supposed to get iced, not Brad. But when Dave Norton is going to shoot, Brad walks in front of Trevor just as he's shooting, so he buys it, right?
You're right. Now I'm just coming back.
Yeah, and so I guess, Michael was a traitor to Trevor, but it's not like you ratted him out. Trevor didn't go to jail.
Right.
Right.
It's true. No.
Supposedly Brad
when I
went to
looked
jail,
at it was like.
but
listen, I come from the loyal old mob days, where I was. But,
you just be
and listen,
quiet.
they're all rat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even judging that. You know that. Forget that.
You're dumb and dumber. That's definitely dumb.
Absolutely.
Blind, and all that
Listen,
shit.
man, I tell these kids today, if they get into this, the life I was in, you're gonna end up where I was. So don't do that shit. Either you're dead or in jail. There's nobody goes, cashes in their 401k and they go to Rhode Island.
No.
So here's some questions from people that have written us and stuff like this. How close did you get with your fellow GTA characters?
Oh God,
This is all about GTA 5.
With the fellow actors.
Yeah.
Dude, so close. I mean, we were a family, and everybody said, "Oh yeah, we were a family." We really were. I mean, Solo is he's like.
I love him, man.
Yeah, he's like a
as a
brother to
I
me.
mean, as a person, he's really out there.
Yeah. He's like a brother to me. He's been through life. He was a gangbanger, been shot 5 times. I'm not like some rich kid from the suburbs either. I'm from Danville, Illinois, man, which is, Danville, Illinois was voted by Newsweek a few years back the worst place in America to raise a kid.
Really? I know Illinois is pretty well.
I disagree with that.
A lot.
Yeah, I disagree with that because, we had a great childhood growing up there. We didn't have anything. I was a street kid, but I was smart. I was smart enough not to be stupid. You know what I mean? And
listen, you can't, school can't teach that. And I know that.
No.
I come from the Bronx in the same way.
Yeah.
When you have street smarts, that's an edge up on a lot of people.
So Solo and I got along really well, pretty much from the get-go. Once we put our alpha away and just became like cool, we got along great. And then there's Steven, who's a Canadian guy, and he was good. We were great with him as well. And that's the guy who plays Trevor. And it was just a blast on the set.
Now, how it took you? Will you say 3.5 years to make?
Yeah, about
GTA 5?
three or so. I don't know, 3.5.
Did you live in a complex or did you live like the day?
No. I went home every day. It was
okay. You went home to where you were, or whatever.
Yeah. I lived in a town in Western. You know where Ossining is, right? Where Sing Sing is.
Ossining, of course I know. Are you kidding me?
You know Sing Sing. It's where they send you up the river.
I visited a few people there today.
Yeah, I was 5 minutes north of up the river.
Right.
We bought a house there because
it's cold up there too.
Yeah. I got a house there because I figured it'd be close for visitation if I ever got
Pretty
thrown
cool.
in.
Here's a question here for you. How was the transition from TV acting to video games? I mean, you were an actor, and you still are, but you did a lot of commercials, so you're used to how grips go, the whole works.
Well, it was different. I mean, at first, when my agent called and said, "Hey, we got an audition for you," because I had quit acting for probably at least 2 years, and I was pretty not doing it for another 2 years, and so I was semi-retired, I guess, and I was living in my hometown in Danville, and I'd opened up.
What were you doing, Ned?
I'd opened up a little restaurant with my brother. My brothers were coaches there. My one brother's a Hall of Fame football coach, and
Which one?
My other one's a track coach, and I was a pole vaulter and a football player in high school, and I
you'd break the pole now. You'd break the pole now.
Yeah, I broke poles in. I broke my leg too. That's why I had to give it up.
Wow.
But anyway, so I was living there, and I was like, okay. I went to my wife. I said, make a choice, man. LA or New York? I'm an actor. I can't stay here.
Yeah.
And she goes to New York. So I went to New York, and we found a house. And a couple weeks later, I let my agent know I was back in town. Oh, great, So a couple weeks later, I get a call, and it's like, hey, we got an audition for you. It's for a video game. And I go, why would I want to audition for a video game?
That was my next question.
Yeah,
I'm
an actor. I'm not going to do. Yeah, I'm not a voice actor. I'm an actor. She goes, well, it's it's by Rockstar, and I said, well, who the fuck is Rockstar? And she goes, well, they make really good video games. Like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, and I played those games. I just never paid attention to who the developers were, right? So I didn't know who Rockstar was. I thought Rockstar was an energy drink. But anyway, so so I said, okay, well, send me the material. And when I saw the material, I went from, well, this is acting, man. Yeah. This is acting. This is not voiceover. This is acting. I went from, I'm not going to do it to nobody else is going to do it. And I went and I did the audition. And then when we got, and then I did the call back, and that was a story. And then, when we got on set, and they threw us in these motion capture suits. I didn't know that was what it was. I had no idea. They did a screen of my head. I had to shave and all this. They did a screen of my head, and I didn't even know what that was. I brought wardrobe in and stuff, and I'm like going, okay, well, this is weird, man. What the fuck is this? This is like an acting gig, And so we get on set, and they go throw this suit on, and I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Right?
Put is it a skin tight suit too? Is it a skin tight suit?
It's like a scuba suit, dude. It's like a wetsuit. Like I felt like I was going back to my old surfing days. So I put that on, and they go, okay, now we got to put all these things on you, and they start attaching these balls all over us, and I'm going, okay, easy there, easy. They get down around there, and I'm like, my legs going like a puppy when you're rubbing his belly, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then they go, okay, now we gotta do a ROM. We got a ROM, which is an acronym for range of motion. So I got to go into this room with Alan, and I gotta do this dance thing, so that the cameras, the computers, whatever, they're locking onto my motion, right? Okay, great. So you're done. You go out to the set, and you're like going, okay, oh, now we're gonna act. Now it's acting.
And I'm sure after a little bit, you pretty much forget you're in the suit, actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless somebody notices all the back fat, that's a different story.
It's funny, I got introduced to gaming myself. I did a video, actually an owner of a video company, Billions, calls me and calls my secretary and says, I want to do a big, large dollar thing with Larry, but I want to speak to him. I said, sure, okay. I mean, I don't know who he is. I'll speak to him for that kind of money. I actually said, I'll blow this guy for that kind of money. I said to the guy, he called me. He goes, "Hey Larry, I love what you do. I love what you stand for. You got a great message. You can second chances, all that." And he says, "I spend 150 million a year in advertising." Boy, Ned, I sat up in my chair.
Yeah.
And he says, "Let me tell you what's happening." And this was a couple of years ago, Ned. He said, "In 3 years, only 3% of my ad buys are going to regular TV. It's going to gaming. It's going to you, influencers like what I do."
Yeah.
And actually, they own the game. They're Paradox, and they own the game Prison Architect. And actually, I'm a character in one of their games. With my actual prison number and everything.
That's nice.
Yeah, you actually build a prison. It's amazing. I actually been back many times to judge the prison and a bunch of stuff like that. But I had no idea, like you, how big and how. Listen, this literally dwarfs TV.
It's incredible.
This to the next question. You got to be really excited for this trailer to come out December 5th, bringing GTA really back to the forefront.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna live stream during it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna live stream.
I gotta come on with something.
I gotta get up early. Gotta get up. I'm gonna start live streaming. I think at like 8:30.
That's tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Yeah, it's tomorrow morning. And
when is it released, Ned? Do you know the time?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern.
9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
okay.
tomorrow. And
wow.
So I'm gonna live stream during it, and then when it comes time, I'll have a little countdown deal over here that I'll be able to see. I haven't figured out how to, and I don't know if I can put it on my monitor, like on the screen when I'm recording the live stream, because copyright shit and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna have it off on the side, and everybody else will be watching it, and they'll probably break away from me to watch it. And
you'll get back and forth.
Yeah, and then they'll come back. They'll open up a second window, like is what I'll do. I'll put one over here because I got 3 monitors. I'll put it on one monitor and this, and live stream, and I'll shut down. I'll pause everything when when it comes on, and we'll watch it, and then we'll talk about it, and then I'll go back and play the game some more. But
wow,
I'm fired up for it, man. I'm
you should be, Ned. I mean, I want to congratulate you before it came on. I wanted to do this interview before it came on. Because, listen, I understand how that business goes very well. I mean, I did a lot of TV for Casey Anthony, a lot of network, commentating and stuff like that, robberies and stuff of that nature. You and I have something very in common, and it's kind of weird when I read about you and myself. We were both swatted.
Yeah.
How did that Ned, mine happened at 1:40 in the morning. I mean, cops, guns, lasers on my chest. I was scared shit. 6 in the morning?
6 times.
You've been swatted 6 times?
6 times. Countless pizzas, and I kind of don't want to talk about it because the little prick that's doing it is out there getting a hard-on right now.
I got
going, because he's already having a hard-on about making Fox News from when I got swatted on Thanksgiving. So,
you just were swatted again?
Yeah, I swatted on Thanksgiving. They called the fire department while I was live streaming, by the way.
Wow, yeah, I said sort of. I didn't know when it was. It's funny, Ned, because listen, when I was in there, and they actually told me because of the time it happened at night and everything that happened, they would have broke my door in. And Ned, I'm coming up out. I'm an ex-con. I don't sleep.
Well, that's the thing, and it's like. Kids are stupid, man. I mean,
and Ned, I didn't talk about it for a long time because again, I don't want to give them the
kids are stupid. We're gonna catch this motherfucker, though. I will tell you that we are gonna catch him. I'm having fun. I'm actually having fun tracking him down. What people don't understand is I've got good friends that are feds. I've got good friends that are cops. I've got good friends that are degenerates. I mean, we're gonna find this little paste eating prick, and we're gonna track him down, and he's either gonna go away or he's gonna have a really rough day. But
Ned, it's funny because like myself included, I'm an honorary police officer now. The police chief is a friend. He had me over, and they put me in cuffs because they didn't know what was going on. The crew there, and then the assistant chief come running down. This is in the morning. Get him out of those cuffs. I got PTSD bad about that.
Yeah.
And he came in and, he called me in the next day. He was like, I said, listen, you tell me what happened. He gave me the tape. They were going to kill me. They had my mother and me. Some serious shit. And it went on for 10 minutes, and I'm like, holy shit, I wanted to catch him. You know what he said to me? He goes, Larry, sadly, you know, these guys are from another country. You know, it's so hard. But I did find out, Ned, that if it happens at night, a dangerous situation, it actually goes to the FBI. And so, you know, it gets a little bit deeper because of crossing lines and everything like that.
Well,
how much effort are they going to do, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've got we've got a private investigator looking into it, and a good friend. And it's just about, for me, it's about principle. I mean, look, I ordered pizzas for guys when I was a kid, but I paid for them.
I actually never did that.
I paid for them. That's how I got caught. You know? And you know, fortunately, Mr. Blocker was like, just don't do that stuff, you know? And he ate the pizza. You know, these guys are sending cash order pizzas, you know, like these poor pizza delivery guys are coming out and they need cash to pay for it. I don't keep cash in the house. I keep guns in the house.
Good for you. I wish I could. I can't.
For future reference. Yeah. And
I can't.
Yeah. Well, you know, you talk about PTSD. I swear my wife's got PTSD, man. Every time the doorbell rings, she runs and grabs the Glock. You know,
wow.
So it's like,
you know, I know it.
Hey, it's okay. It's just me.
But you know what, Ned? We laugh about it, but it's serious.
It is serious shit. People have gotten killed doing that stuff.
Absolutely. Here's one. What was your best experience on or off set because of GTA? Like somebody you met, somebody, I don't know, something you did exciting. Go somewhere.
It sounds canned and you know, bullshit and stuff like that. But actually, the best experience was the entire experience. You know, the Rockstar.
The 3.5 years.
Yeah, they got an incredible crew, man. And I never had a bad day coming to work. I never looked not forward or whatever.
Right.
I didn't.
You're excited.
There was never a day where I didn't want to go to work.
It wasn't work.
And and you'd walk on and said, "Hey, crew," you know, and there all these young genius kids, you know, working there, and then you got the actors that were involved. Like I had not one problem with. I had a problem with one guy, and he was a day player guy, and he was an asshole, and he actually ended up not being in the game because you know he was a douchebag. But other than that, it was like, and I shoot straight, you know. I
know we talked enough. Yeah,
I let the guy know that what he was doing was bullshit, and then he went and cried to his agent, and his agent cried to them, and you know that kind of thing.
Pussy.
You know. Instead of being like you know a man and just saying, "Oh, sorry, man, I didn't mean to get in your space." But you know, but other than that, it was like every day was awesome because the actors they brought in, you know, all the supporting guys, all the side guys, all the non-playable characters, it was so good, man. They were all such good actors. So if you're acting with them, you know, there's nothing worse than being an actor and not getting anything from the guy across from you.
Oh, you know, absolutely. Even
and these guys gave it to you, man. They brought it. They brought it every time, you know. So it was awesome.
Well, you know, you could tell. I mean, even watching. Listen, I watched my grandson play it, and you know, people say, the kid. I mean, I got into watching the whole kind of thing unfold. I'm saying, look at this shit, and when a kid is good at it. It's not like me, you know, you keep dying.
Yeah.
They got to put me on, what's it called? The no-kill where they can't kill me.
Yeah, right.